Hello and welcome to another video, and today I will be doing a election prediction with Julian Castro against Donald Trump. Julian Castro is a pretty strong candidate, but it's gonna be a primary, and I'm probably gonna make a Democratic primary prediction tomorrow. So stay tuned. Castro is born in Texas. He would do pretty good there. Now I'm gonna be doing safe and likely states. So I'll begin. Most of the Midwest is safe. Texas would be not. Well, Texas wouldn't be safe. I see Colorado being safe, honestly. For like a Sanders or a Biden, I'd say going by like 8 points. For Castro, 16. So 2 times the turnout. Nevada is still not going to be that high of a turnout. The Midwest, well, the East Coast, North, well, the Pacific time zone people. But basically, California, Oregon, and Washington, they will all go to the toss-up column. They will be under 15%. I keep on saying this, Oregon will flip either in 2020, 2024, or 2028. Most likely 2028, but I think it could still flip depending on the candidate. Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi would be likely. I think that Missouri and Indiana will be likely. Same thing with South Carolina and Florida, of course. Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, and the Rust Belt. So, I see Castro as the kind of person without that much name recognition, and Trump getting kind of popular in these states. I could see them getting closer, and all of me except for second congressional district and first congressional district. So we have 150 for Julian Castro in here, and we have 60 for Trump. I'm gonna fill in the likely states. Mississippi. Again, Mississippi has been it only went for Trump by 18%, and now it has a 35% African American voting bloc. Castro could really get out minorities, especially in the South, where this race was around 9 to 10%. So it won't flip, and it won't be as close as the special election, maybe 14%. But Castro will still narrow down, and it won't help Trump that minorities running against him. South Carolina, it's just gonna stay around that place as a high African American voting bloc, maybe a bit more than Mississippi, but it will still end up staying likely because it's too hard to flip that much, especially when Trump's popular here. Okay, so now Washington. Washington will probably stay likely. Well, I think it was safe in 2016, but it's gonna go down as Castro doesn't have that much name recognition, and most Democrats here are more of the progressives, and Castro wouldn't be perceived as a progressive that much. They maybe if it was like an Elizabeth Warren, they would make it safe, but Washington likely, and I'm gonna leave Oregon for now. Virginia, that's pretty likely. We know what happened in 2016, in 2018, in 2017. Every single election year, Republicans kept on losing in Virginia, and I think that they'll lose again. So, especially with Julian Castro, who could get out a lot of minorities, and Midwest, not Midwest, sorry. The northern states, I'm just like calling them like the northern states. Yes, the northern states like Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, they would all just stay in a Democratic column, but I still think that they would be in the 10 to 15 margin each one. Rhode Island, 10%, Connecticut, 13%, New Jersey, 12%, Delaware, 10%. But still, it will be likely. And Nebraska. I see Nebraska's second congressional district going likely. That's how it did go in the House. And it did go around that margin in the Senate. And then was there a gubernatorial race? I don't think so, but it still is very Republican. And Castro doesn't have that much name recognition. So I see Trump winning here. And we have or states around I guess the Sun Belt. We call this the Sun Belt. Texas, I see this narrowly. Actually, I can't call it, but I could call Arizona for calling Castro. If a non-minority beats the same person, the same person that has the same beliefs and could get at the same voters as Donald Trump, then a minority could beat Donald Trump himself in Arizona. Christian Cinema won here. I know that in the governor race, Doug Ducey won, but the governor races are different. There's an incumbent. He was pretty popular, and Cinema actually had more name recognition than David Garcia. I see Castro carrying Arizona. He is from this area. He does know it. He knows what to do. So I do see Castro winning. Missouri, yeah, and Indiana. They're just gonna go under. Castro could get out a lot of minorities, like I said, and I would go to Maine at large. both of these are safe, but I do see main allies going to Trump. I see this one going likely as opposed to safe, but that just means that Trump wins here. Castro can't really appeal up in Maine, as he is from Arizona. He isn't from Arizona. He is from Texas. And our next call is in Iowa. Iowa will stay likely, a little bit narrower, with more Democratic voters, because Castro could unify the party. Actually, in places where he does have that name recognition, which is why I see Ohio going in a leaning margin. It will be kind of close, but maybe 4% margin. And now I want to call. These are tricky calls. Well, I forgot about Nevada. That's likely, as it's been showing in a lot of races. And maybe Nevada's going to be, Nevada, Virginia, and Colorado are all safer than Oregon. Oregon went by 10 points to Clinton. Right? In 2018, it went by 6 points in a blue wave year. Imagine this. Not that much of a wave year. Kind of a red wave year because it's an election for Trump. Oregon goes leaning. These are all really hard calls. I'm going to put Texas last. I'm going to call Florida for Castro. There's really no avoiding it. Castro will get Florida. Will get out at 1%, like at 1% that he actually needs to flip the state. Not a lot of Latino voters had a commitment to spend their time voting instead of work, kids, all that. They might have still liked her, but they have the biggest commitment. When Julian Castro, he really resonates with Latino Florida voters. I see that going to Castro. But I just realized there's one. I think it was Amendment 4. It lets criminals, convicted criminals to right to vote, which is something that might help, especially since it was a Democratic thing that they liked. But Trump is, and the Republican Party are pushing for a First Step Act. Not all the Republican Party, but maybe that would be good with minority criminals. You get free, it is better than voting, I think, I would say. And now in Georgia, this one will stay Republican just because Republicans have a grasp. Here they have won the races here. They only lost 1.5 seats. But still, Castro is the type of candidate to flip states that had minority, that had black populations. They got quails to flip states that have more Florida, but Georgia and North Carolina. It's just that he It's just that there aren't enough Latino voters. There might be enough Black voters, but like not all of them would be like the same commitment as they did for Clinton. And now we have a lot of states left. Okay, New Hampshire. Trump has a negative 6 or 7 approval rating here. This is vulnerable to flip. I see New Hampshire. Well, actually, no. I think I made a mistake with that. But it is very vulnerable. It only went to Trump by under Trump by 2,000 votes, I think. But it was close. And Castro not being able to appeal to the north, like the northern voters, it will go to Trump and the Rust Belt. I see all the Rust Belt going to Trump. So that's a lot to unpack. Castro is great with this side of the nation, well, this part of the nation where you on, and this part, I guess. But Trump, the Rust Belt is kind of where he on. Castro won't really be able to add progressives. I guess you can't unify all the party everywhere, especially in a primary that will have so many candidates. It's gonna be really hard. So, Wisconsin, Stu Trump, it did do good for him in the midterms. And imagine this, Gary Johnson isn't running in 2020. He was the most popular libertarian. Libertarian votes going to Trump. You see, the libertarians wouldn't have the best candidates. Maybe it might be his running mate last year, but probably not. It wouldn't be somebody that they know that much. So the libertarians won't do that well. But most of them will just either not vote, or which is good for Trump, or just vote for him because well, it is kind of good for Trump because it just stays the way it is. And in Michigan, no, it was kind of bad in the midterms, yeah. But midterms are different from regular elections. Midterms, well, they aren't the president on the ballot. A lot of Democrats like Trump, and that's the same argument for Pennsylvania and Minnesota. More House seats flipped. They had a +1 flipping thing. Weird, I guess. An average flip of 1. So Texas. I really have to finish this video quickly, so I'm gonna have to make this call as. Just remember this. My call might annoy some people. So, it's going to Trump. Trump beats Castro and Arrow in Texas. Because even though, Over isn't a Latino voter, he is still, he's, well, Ulrich wasn't the most Latino, and he didn't make it like a 3-point lead. Castro is actually Latino and more moderate. He should win here, but that's the thing. Ted Cruz isn't Donald Trump, and Castro isn't O'Rourke. O'Rourke was able to make a name for himself right from the start. Castro isn't known at all. He was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under Obama, and that's it. It's really unlikely that he'll actually run. And Latino voters will vote for him, of course. But most Republicans will vote for Trump, and conservative Democrats, independents, as Castro is known that much. But Democrats, of course, would vote for him over like Trump. But this is my final prediction: 282 for Donald Trump and 256 for Castro. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next premiere. Bye.